U25 News Now weekends at 5:30.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Trenton Whiting. A man involved in a shooting Friday night has been declared dead as of Saturday. Police responded to a call in the 2600 block of Allendale around 5 o'clock yesterday, where a man had been shot in the head. The man was identified as 20-year-old Amari Franklin. He was taken to a local hospital before Victoria police reported his death. Police are investigating what led to the shooting and who is responsible. Labor Day weekend is here, and millions of Americans are taking advantage of the last unofficial weekend of summer. TSA is preparing for record-breaking numbers, while the roads are also packed this holiday weekend.
Millions are heading to their holiday destinations by air to celebrate the unofficial end of summer. As the summer comes to a close, the TSA says it was record-breaking.
TSA has been in existence for 23 years, and of those 23 years, the top 10 busiest days ever have all happened this summer.
TSA expecting to screen more than 17 million passengers between now and Wednesday.
Well, so far, knock wood, the airlines have done pretty well. I think they were anticipating the rush. They know this is kind of that last gasp of summer travel before we get into a little lull before the holidays. So airlines are largely handling it pretty well. They've staffed up. They were prepared.
On the roads, timing is everything. AAA says the best time to drive is before noon today, before 10 a.m. Monday, and after 1 p.m. Tuesday. Compared to last year, filling up your gas tank is a little easier on your wallet. $3.33 for a gallon of regular unleaded, about 50 cents cheaper than the $3.82 we were paying a year ago. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
And that's going to lead us right to our viewer poll, which is how will you be spending your Labor Day? 4% say traveling, 17% say grilling, which I'll hope you'll have some leftovers for us. 3% are going to the pool and beach, and 76% are just going to be chilling at home, doing nothing. We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. We'll have your responses on at 25 News Now at 10. Now, since we're talking about Labor Day, we're also going to go ahead and talk about weather, so I'll pass it over to team meteorologist Trey Meinig to see what the rest of the week is going to look like. Trey?
Trenton, good to see you there. I'll tell you what, temperatures on the outside, definitely on the hot side, 91 degrees. That's the air temperature. Add the humidity factor in with a little bit of wind. Feels like 102 on the outside currently. Please be careful out there. Northerly winds about 14-15 miles per hour. Tracking a few little small rain showers there. Point Comfort Palacios down into Calhoun County. Around that low pressure area in the Gulf of Mexico that still persists. How long is that going to stay? What about a cool front headed our way coming up later on in the week? Yes, I did say a cool front. We'll keep the rain chances in. We'll give the details on that and everything else you need to know about the weather coming up later on in the full forecast. Trenton?
Thank you, Trey. Authorities are investigating a human smuggling case in Texas, where 17 migrants were found inside a box truck disguised to look like a Lowe's home improvement store truck.
I see body. This is the moment troopers with the Texas Department of Public Safety opened a hidden compartment in an 18-wheeler. Inside, 17 migrants riding into the U.S. illegally.
Hey, uno por uno vaya saliendo.
13 men and 4 women were found inside of what DPS calls a cloned Lowe's truck. It's made to look like a commercial vehicle on the outside with adjustments made on the inside to transport and conceal people.
Bring your driver license with you.
The trooper made contact with the driver. The trooper noticed there were some discrepancies with the driver, with the truck itself. And after a search of the vehicle or search of the truck, revealed that there was a false compartment within the cargo area of the truck.
Can you see them?
I think when the trooper was able to inspect that compartment, there was no air circulation.
Thankfully, no one died, but multiple people were treated for dehydration.
I can tell you for certain that that trooper prevented a mass casualty smuggling event. We saw, obviously, we know what happened back in 2022, just outside of San Antonio, where there was 53 migrants that died in the back of a trailer. So these type of smuggling events have been a common occurrence, and also they're very dangerous, especially with the summer heat. So that's why it's very important that we have our troopers working those main highways that are used for human smuggling.
Self-contractor?
The driver, 28-year-old Miguel Patterson from Jackson, Mississippi, is now charged with human smuggling causing serious bodily injury. This is not the first time a cloned vehicle has been used in a human smuggling operation. In fact, it's not even the first in August.
Early this month, we actually assisted U.S. Border Patrol in Carrizo Springs with a Safe Light truck that was also cloned. It's very dangerous when anybody involved in human smuggling. There is consequences, not only at the criminal side, but also if someone does die while someone is smuggling someone, you're looking at a lifelong consequences, prison time.
Workers at Boeing could be on the verge of a major strike. The aerospace developer and manufacturer's contract with about 32,000 union workers expires September 12th. A union leader said Boeing and workers are far apart on all of the main issues. That includes wages, health care, retirement, and time off. Boeing says it will continue to bargain with the union in good faith and is confident a deal can be reached. The company has been facing a number of other challenges, including fatal crashes, design flaws, and tanking aircraft sales. Now to a deadly plane crash in Oregon. A Cessna slamming into townhomes, setting them on fire, causing 15,000 people to lose power.
Crash, 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 big black smoke in a residential area.
This morning, 3 people are dead after a small plane crashed into this neighborhood just north of Portland, immediately sending smoke billowing into the air. NTSB officials looking into the incident as rescue crews rushed to the scene in a desperate search for survivors.
Sir, you haven't gone around any time. Say intention.
Air traffic controllers urging the pilot to change altitude immediately just before the crash.
Say intentions. Your altitude indicates 1,700. You're well above the VFR altitude restrictions. I need you to descend, maintain at or below 1,200 now.
Moments later, the pilot revealing he's having control issues with the plane as it attempted an emergency landing at a local airport.
412 Golf is having some handling problems. This is a test flight. I can't get this thing.
The aircraft, a twin-engine Cessna, was carrying 2 people aboard as it crashed into a row of townhouses, igniting a 5-alarm brush fire.
We have heavy fire showing from the roof of a wood-story, two-story townhome. We need to balance this to a second alarm.
At some point during the crash, it hit a power pole or tower, causing it to fall over. And so the power lines fell into a field of some sort and started a brush fire.
At least 8 people at a Texas county fair were hospitalized after some bleachers collapsed. Authorities say the incident happened during a rodeo at the Kendall County Fair Saturday night. Witnesses say the bleachers were full of people when the seats collapsed, causing attendees to fall to the ground. A number of people jumped in to help hold the bleachers up while injured people got to safety. The fair was shut down for the rest of the night. Crime scene tape was set around the bleachers. Officials are conducting safety inspections of the rodeo grounds Sunday before opening the fair back up. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 5:30, Israeli Defense Forces recover the bodies of 6 more hostages in Gaza. That and more in just a few moments.
We're still watching this area in the northwestern Gulf of Mexico spinning around out here. Does it mean more rain for us? That could be the case. Coming up, we'll take a look in your forecast.
Turning now to the race for the White House, former President Trump and Vice President Harris zeroing in on battleground states as the campaign enters its final months.
To the screams of the hometown crowd today, Minnesota Governor and Democratic VP nominee Tim Walz in a t-shirt and hat, serving ice cream at the Minnesota State Fair.
It's exciting. I think people are seeing that we're getting to talk about Minnesota across the country, talk about the economy here, talk about things like the State Fair, talk about agriculture.
Our new ABC News Ipsos poll shows Vice President Kamala Harris holds a slight 52 to 46% lead over former President Trump nationally among likely voters. Harris is widening the gap with women, but did not get the usual post-convention bounce. The Trump campaign is still trying to clarify his seemingly shifting positions on abortion rights and some criticism of his controversial visit to Arlington National Cemetery. Trump supporters once again suggesting he stick to the issues ahead of personal attacks.
Focus on the issues, Mr. President. Every poll says the same thing. The American people trust you with what matters the most to them: the economy, inflation, border security, and just managing the government. If I were you, my friend, I would focus on those issues laser-like, and you will win this race.
Trump will be campaigning in battleground states this week with stops in Georgia, Arizona, and Pennsylvania. For Labor Day, Harris is in Detroit and then Pittsburgh, where for the first time since becoming the Democratic nominee, she'll be joined by President Biden. Praise for the president today. Mega Democratic Party fundraiser George Clooney, who wrote a July New York Times op-ed calling for Biden to drop out of the race, speaking out about it for the first time.
The person who should be applauded is the president who did the most selfless thing that anybody's done since George Washington.
The ABC News debate between Harris and Trump is less than 10 days away. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Now an update on the war between Israel and Hamas. Israeli defense forces say they've recovered the bodies of 6 more hostages in Gaza. The military claims they were still alive when they were kidnapped by Hamas during the October 7th massacre. Among the victims is Israeli-American Hirsch Goldberg Polin, whose parents have been vocal to free the hostages.
Tonight, thousands of Israelis protesting outside Prime Minister Netanyahu's office, pushing for a ceasefire and release of hostages still held by Hamas.
I'm crying the cry of humanity. Hostages are dying every day.
Today, a funeral for one of the 6 hostages found dead yesterday. Israel confirming those deaths in Gaza, including Israeli-American Hirsch Goldberg Polin. The other 5, Alexander Lobanov, Almog Sarusi, Carmel Gat, Eden Yerul Shami, and Ori Danino. The IDF says their bodies were recovered from tunnels under Rafah, where another hostage, Farhad al-Qadi, was rescued earlier in the week, adding they were killed just 2 or 3 days before they reached them. 23-year-old Hirsch seen here on April 24th in this proof-of-life video released by Hamas. His parents, Jonathan and Rachel, spoke at the Democratic National Convention last month.
This is a political convention. But needing our only son and all of the cherished hostages home is not a political issue. It is a humanitarian issue.
Emotional as the crowd chanted, "Bring them home." The White House says President Biden spoke with his family today, expressing his sorrow.
John and Rachel had done everything in their power to help their son be released from captivity. After 11 months of captivity, he was murdered by Hamas.
Despite the protests, Netanyahu says those who kill abductees do not want a peace deal. An official tells ABC the names of at least 3 of those hostages, including Hirsch, were on the latest ceasefire draft and would have been freed in the first phase of the deal. Britt Clennett, ABC News, Tel Aviv.
More on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. And don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrain will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. You could submit a local military hero so we can recognize them.
Of Mexico bringing rain our way once again, especially as it moves a little bit further to the west. This in combination with the cold front will keep our rain chances high coming up beginning tomorrow. What will the rest of the week look like? We'll take a look coming up in your full forecast. Good evening, good evening. Happy Sunday, the day before Labor Day. And still a little bit on the hot side around here. A few rain showers earlier, especially along the coast. Winds from the north, northeast around low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico. And the feel-like temperature by 9 o'clock will be still in the upper 80s to 90 degrees, 70s in the overnight, heating up again tomorrow with cloud cover and thunderstorms expected from time to time around the area. But still on the hot side, look at this. By 2 o'clock will be 101 to 102, having your outdoor plans for Labor Day. May want to bring it inside or take frequent breaks if you're out in the daytime hours, especially in the afternoon. Rainfall, future rainfall totals through your day on Tuesday, starting now through then. Anywhere from a quarter of an inch, half an inch, maybe heavier rains potentially along the immediate coast, especially to our east from about Bay City toward Galveston, where the tropical moisture is coming in around the low pressure area there. So the low pressure area will be tracking a little bit further to the west again. So I think it's going to put us in more of a favorable condition for rainfall, in addition to a front that's moving on through. By far, the majority of the rain will be out in the Gulf of Mexico with that low pressure area still kind of meandering in the northwestern Gulf, especially along the coast here. From Victoria southward along 59 southward toward the coast, be the best chances of rainfall around here and the best amounts as well. And speaking of a cold front, of course, take a look at this right here, still in northern Texas. And that low pressure area is still very weak and disorganized, but it's still kind of meandering around in the northern Gulf of Mexico, kind of moving back and forth. I believe it's going to make a move according to the weather models, again back toward the west a little bit, putting us in the most favorable area of rainfall around the low pressure area. We've been to the west of it, so that's where our conditions have been dry, but it should be to the east of it by then, giving us the rainfall coming in around the low pressure center, adding this in to a cool front moving through by about Tuesday and Wednesday or so, which will add more lift in the atmosphere and give us better rain chances beginning tomorrow and lasting through about midweek or so. And then we'll see a little bit of drying after that as the front moves on through, so we'll keep watching our weather conditions for now. And I think the rain chance will be on the increase. That's in agreement with the model here, Future Tracker. Starting in from the east, kind of rotating around the low pressure center in the Gulf, coming in for your day on Monday, starting in the early morning hours along the coastal zones you see, getting closer to us as we go toward the morning hours on your Monday into your Tuesday more than likely, and keep that cool front coming on down by midweek. We'll even add to more of the rainfall chances around here, so we're bumping up the rainfall chances coming up for your day tomorrow. Pretty dry weekend, but that won't be the case for the first part of the work week. Quero, looking at partly cloudy skies to start off the day. Good chance of thunderstorms throughout the entire day on your day tomorrow, so keep that umbrella handy. Take your outdoor activities for Labor Day. You may want to bring them inside just in case. In addition to be hot, it'll be rainfall chances as well. Same thing for Port Lavaca along the coast. Temperatures in the 80s to near 90. And Victoria, the same. Scattered rain showers and storms. Highs near 90 degrees with northerly winds. And extended forecast for us here, Labor Day tomorrow. We'll keep about a 70% chance in, so bumping it up a little bit on the rain percentages. And that'll take us to the rest of the time period. Beginning to dry out toward the weekend with high temperatures once again in the upper 80s near 90 degrees, lows in the 70s, easterly winds. So definitely going to be hot on the outside tomorrow, and rain chances as well, so keep that umbrella handy. Watch weather developments just in case for some brief heavy rainfall, some of these storms moving on through. And take a look at this, why don't you, right here. Get your smartphone, scan the code you see there on your screen. It'll take us to a web page. You can download our app, News, Weather, and Sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, and it's free of charge to be connected with us. Now we got Ray in the house with sports.
Multiple teams represented in the Goliath volleyball tournament coming up. We take a look at those teams and more in sports. The Goliad Tigerettes hosted a volleyball tournament over the course of the weekend. A lot of familiar teams from the Crosswords were competing. We saw the likes of St. Joseph, Victoria East, Goliad, a team fresh off of winning the tournament in Schulenburg last weekend. I was able to catch the Lady Flyers in action early yesterday morning as well. They took on Sinton in the 10 a.m. matchup. After beating Sinton, they went on to face Calhoun, where they also lost in the Sand Crabs semifinals. This defeat had them finishing third place in the tournament. And yesterday I opened up with an interesting viewer poll in regards to CFL's game of the week. It's called the Lavaca River Rivalry. This play occurred in overtime. Industrial is seen at the goal line as Cooper Martin crosses the line for what appears to be a touchdown. But then you see the ball is loose after the play, which was ruled a fumble. So let's look at the viewer poll and see what you guys think. Did they make the correct call? We got 31% saying yes, 68% saying no, and we got 1% that said that it was too close to call. And in some MLB talk, the Houston Astros taking on the Kansas City Royals in the final game of their series early today. They have very identical records for the season. Astros 75-62, and the Royals with a record of 75-63. The Astros take over the game in the fourth inning with 3 runs. Yordan Alvarez goes 4 for 2 and 2 home runs. These 2 home runs led the game. After a great defensive performance from the Royals in the 6th and 7th inning, the Astros also erupt again with 3 runs in the 8th. Astros win it, final score 7-2. The Rangers hosted the Oakland A's today. This game went all the way towards the end, both teams having several guys with multiple strikeouts. As we approach the 10th inning with the teams tied 2 runs apiece, the A's take the lead with 2 runs, and then Rangers' Josh Jung completes a 3-run walk-off home run to secure the victory. Rangers win, final score 6-4. College football is also up, running, and strong this weekend. Texas A&M taking on Notre Dame. Texas A&M with the ball early on, getting downfield as tight end Trey Watson brings it down the field when faced with the 4th and 3rd. When faced with the 4th and 3rd, they kick a field goal to put something on the board. Notre Dame, on the other hand, proving to be just as much of an equal team, getting downfield with 6:44 in the first quarter. Notre Dame ties it up with the field goal of their own. At the end, though, it was Notre Dame with the runaway win, ending it final score 23-13. Your college football coverage will end with Quinn Ewers in Texas having their first game as an SEC team. Texas up with a 2nd and goal. Ewers locates Matthew Golden for the touchdown. The score didn't stop for Texas in the first half. Longhorns find themselves in the red zone again, and then Ewers finds Isaiah Bond for the touchdown. This dominance carried on throughout the game pretty much. Arch Manning was able to get in on some of the action with 4 minutes in the 3rd quarter, helping Longhorns as well. Final score 52-0. That's it for your sports. Trenton?
Stay with us. Coming up, a 99-year-old woman finishes a lifelong aspiration. We want to invite you to experience our new digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. An Ohio woman proves that it's never too late to accomplish your dreams. At 99 years young, an Ohio woman from Monroe County is celebrating an achievement that eluded her for decades. Georgia McGarry had to quit high school in 1944 to help her family during World War II. Times were tough then, and money was hard to come by. McGarry worked as a janitor at a pharmacy with her husband, but she always wanted to get her high school diploma. Well, that dream became a reality last week when the Board of Education in the Switzerland of Ohio School District held a special meeting and presented McGarry with her diploma. Board members also gave her a cap and gown to honor her achievement. The current principal of the school she once attended presented her with the diploma. McGarry says she is truly grateful to her family and friends who made the day possible.
That is very nice.
Fantastic, very inspiring. Tell you what, it's never too late.
It's never too late, ever too late at all. And I mean, I remember my graduation was pretty exciting. I'm not gonna lie, I was ready to be done with high school.
Was it hot or cold that day?
Well, I graduated from Texas, so it was probably hot in the summer.
I'll tell you what, and we got more heat headed our way, of course, with better rain chances coming back for your day tomorrow. So keep that in mind, during the afternoon especially. They'll take us through the rest of the week. A little bit of a rain reduction coming up by Saturday and Sunday. So look forward to that. In the meantime, Labor Day, be careful out there. It'll be hot and rain chances pretty high coming up with highs near 90 degrees.
It's going to be a hot day, but hopefully you can still get out and get something done on Labor Day.
You can. You have to just make sure you do it right.
Yep. Well, we saw a lot of people are going to be doing nothing and chilling, and that's what I'm going to be doing on Labor Day.
It's always a good thing.
Yes, sir. No doubt. Well, we want to thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. We hope you have a great Sunday and have a great rest of your week. Thanks so much.